Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well. We're going to continue with our 1977 New York Metropolitan replay using Action PC Baseball 2020. And the Mets are the surprise of Major League Baseball. The Mets currently have 64 wins. That's the total that they had in actuality in 1977. This win will put us over the top. I was hoping for a Pat Zachary-Tom Seaver matchup, but it was not going to come to fruition. It's Pat Zachary versus Greg Norman from Shea Stadium. It's August 20th. It's a day game. 87 degrees at Shea. Boy, that sounds great. Winds 4 miles per hour out to center field. So here we go. The starting lineup for the Cincinnati Reds. Pete Rose leads things off. He'll play third base. Joe Morgan will follow. Play second base and bat second. Ken Griffey Sr. bats third. He's in right field. George Foster is a cleanup hitter in left. Dan Dreesen's at first base. He'll bat fifth. Johnny Bench will bat sixth and do the catching. Cesar Geronimo patrols center field, and he'll bat seventh. Davey Concepcion plays short and bats eighth, while Greg Norman will bat ninth and do the pitching. For the New York Metropolitans, it'll be Lenny Randle to lead things off. He'll play the hot corner. Jerry Grody will bat second and do the catching. Steve Henderson will bat third. He'll be out in left field. Jerry Vale will be out in right field. He's the cleanup hitter today. Lee Mazzilli bats fifth and, as always, patrols center field. Joel Youngblood will bat sixth. He's at second base. Felix Millan is lost for the year. Eddie Kranepool will bat seventh and play first base. Doug Flynn is at short. He'll bat eighth. And Pat Zachary, the man who the Mets acquired from the Reds for Tom Seaver, amongst others, will bat ninth and do the pitching. Again, the Reds are 63 and 59. The Mets 64 and 57. The surprise of this Major League Baseball replay. So Rose is up, batting .288, 4 homers, 49 ribbies. Grody's behind the plate, 4 defensive range, 6 arm. Randall's is a 5 range at third. Flynn's a 7. Youngblood, god-awful with range. He's a 3 at second. That's going to hurt not having Millan anymore. And Kranepool is average at first with a 5. Henderson's a 6 range, 2 arm. Mazzilli is a 6 and a 6 in center. And Vale is a 7 range, 8 arm. So here's the pitch to Pete Rose from Pat Zachary, former teammates. And it's a fly ball to Vale. He's on the run, and he makes the catch in right field. 1 down. So Rose gave it a ride, but it's an out. Now I'll bring up Joe Morgan, the Reds' second baseman, batting .258, 13 homers, 59 ribbies. Zachary looks in at Grody. The pitch to Morgan. And he walked him. So Morgan's at first. 69% chance of stealing second. Kranepool holding him on. And here's Ken Griffey Sr., 313, 16 homers, 68 ribbies. Again, the Mets have won 64 games. 1 more win puts us over the threshold. Zachary throws over. Kranepool applies the tag, but not in time. Morgan's percentage goes down to 53%. Here's the pitch to Griffey. That's a base hit right center field. Mazzilli cuts it off, but Morgan goes first to third. The Reds have something going here. And now bring up Speak Softly, carry a big boomstick. George Foster, 307, 34 homers, and he's already knocked in 101 runs. On deck is Dreesen. Zachary has to bear down here. He's ready. The pitch to Foster. Popped him up. Flynn moving towards the second base bag, waving his arms, and the shortstop makes the catch. 2 down. Mets fans loving it. And here comes Dan Dreesen. Zachary needs to get Dreesen to get out of this pickle. Dreesen, 271, 10 homers, 52 ribbies. No more Tony Perez on the 77. Reds. It's Dan Dreesen at first. Zachary rubs up the baseball. He rocks and deals to Dreesen. Fly ball. Mazzilli, right center field, makes the catch, and the side is retired. The Mets pitch out of it. Good job by Zachary. Due up for the Metropolitans, Lenny Randall, Jerry Grody, and Steve Henderson to face the lefty, Fred Norman. Norman, in the replay, is 11-6 with a 3.20. In actuality, it was 14-13 with a 3.38. Randall is batting .370 with 2 homers and 19 ribbies. I think his hit streak was 41 or 42 before it was snapped. He's a 9 out of 10 bunter. Bench behind the plate, outstanding. 10 range, 8 arm. Rose is poor at third with range. He's a 3. Concepcion and Morgan are both 10s up the middle, and Dreesen is a center at first base. Foster is a 4 range, 5 arm. Geronimo's 10 range with a 6 arm, and Griffey is a 7 range with an 8 arm. Lenny Randall will attempt the bunt hit. He puts it down. Bench has it. What a play. He barehands it and fires to Morgan on the wheel play, and they just nip Lenny Randall. 1 out. They'll bring up Jerry Grody, batting .347. No homers, 19 ribbies. The pitch from Norman to Grody, and he strikes out. Big swing and a miss on the 1-2. Badly fooled. I don't know. He looks like he was sitting breaking pitch. Got beat by the fastball. 2 up, 2 down for Norman. He will face Steve Henderson, batting .313, 2 homers, 20 ribbies. In my replay, we play with as-played transactions and lineups for the day. I make my own lineups for the game. So it's as-played rosters, I should say. And we use the pitchers at our leisure. Here's the pitch to Henderson. And he strikes out. Norman strikes out 2. We're through 1. We go to the top of the second, scoreless at Shea. Due up for the Reds, Bench, Geronimo, and Concepcion. Johnny Bench, 8-game hitting streak, batting .295, 29 home runs, 103 runners knocked in. The pitch. Let's see if we get Bench to expand the zone. We'll go pitch around. And he does not. He walks, so Zachary tried to get him to expand. Bench paid no heed to it. So he's at first. Cranepool holds him on for Cesar Geronimo. .313, 12 homers, 43 ribbies. Mets hoping for the double play ball. Grody wiggles the fingers, sets the target. Zachary's going to go right at him. Here's the pitch. And he strikes him out. That's a big strikeout. A check swing. They're calling it a strike as it was at the belt line. And here's Davey Concepcion. Double play ball ends the inning. Concepcion .249, 5 homers, 38 ribbies. Zachary peeks to first. Now he deals to Concepcion. And he strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks, so he's matching Norman right now. He got him on the 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. Slider's nasty. And here comes Norman, his counterpart. Zachary hoping to strike out the side after walking Bench. Grody goes through the signs. The bearded wonder Zachary quickly nods his head. He rocks and deals to Norman. And he walked him! Oh my God, Pat. Oh my God. We walk the pitcher to get the Pete Rose. That's awesome sauce. So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Top of the order, Charlie Hustle. Rose is 0 for 1. Trying to give the Reds an early lead here. Bench will have a few extra steps with 2 outs. Grody pounds the mitt, imploring Zachary to hit the target. Here's the pitch to Rose. Fly ball, right field. Vale goes back, makes the catch, and the side is retired. The 2 walks do not hurt. Steve Conrad is here at Shea. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining us. Due up for the Metropolitans in the bottom of the second, Vale, Mazzilli, and Youngblood. Mike Vale batting .328, 10 homers, 30 ribbies. All those numbers predominantly off left-handed pitching. Norman throws strikes. Vale's ready to grip and rip. The pitch to Mikey Vale. And that's a base hit to center. So Mike Vale gets a hit. That's the first Metropolitan hit. Dreesen will hold him on. Here's Lee Mazzilli. Mazzilli, a very good bunter when it comes to base hits, but not for sacrifice bunting. Hit and run is a 5. Bench. If you miss this hit and run, Vail will be gunned out by 4 years. But we're playing hit and run anyway. It's go Mets baseball. There goes Vail. Mazzilli grounds it back to Norman, and he thought about going for 2, but he went to first to get the safe out. So Mazzilli makes contact, and we move Vail into scoring position. That's how go Mets baseball plays. That's why we have 64 wins on August 20th. So here comes Joel Youngblood. He's taking over the second base position. Mian is gone for the season. Youngblood, 182, no homers, 5 ribbies, though off left-handed pitching, is faring much better. His batting, I believe it's 263. Let's take a quick look at that. In the replay off lefties, yeah, 263. In actuality, 239. Can he give the Mets a lead here? Again, Norman throws strikes. Here's the pitch to Youngblood. Ground ball up the middle. Morgan ranges past the second base bag. Throws to Dreesen. They get Youngblood. Vail advances to third. 2 outs. And now here comes Eddie Kranepool. Kranepool struggles against lefties. Overall, he's batting .312. 12 homers, 77 ribbies. Can Kranepool smack this ball through the infield and give the Metropolitans a 1-0 lead? Norman steadies himself. He rocks and deals to Kranepool. Kranepool, fly ball. Geronimo racing in from center, makes the catch. And the Mets strand a runner at third. We go to the top of the third. No score here at Shea. Appa Chatter is at the ballpark. Thank you for coming by. And RJL518, how you doing, my friend? You would have been very happy with the result of the football game I did today. Check out that wonderful channel along with Appa Chatter. I don't know if Steven has a channel, but if he does, check it out. So it'll be Morgan, Griffey, and Foster to face Zachary. Morgan walked his first time up. Left-handed batter. Grody sets the target to pitch to little Joe Morgan. And he walks again, so the lead runner is on. Yeah, Kobe, horrible helicopter accident, as RJL says, very sad day in sports, in the sports world. Yep. 9 victims, I believe, on that helicopter crash. Morgan's stolen 35 bases on the season. You got to keep an eye on him, 53%. Zachary throws over. Morgan gets back. But now Morgan takes a more aggressive lead. Here's the pitch out. There goes Morgan, the throw down, and he is safe. Oh, man. He beats the pitch out. Grody put a pretty good throw in there to Flynn. But Morgan slides in safely. Another stolen bag for Joe Morgan. Griffey's 1 for 1. Zachary's going aggressive. Base hit. Left center. Henderson cuts it off, but Morgan easily scores from second. 1-0 Cincinnati Reds. So Griffey's at first. Foster's at the plate. They throw over. Griffey's back. Zachary, very conscious of trying to help out Jerry Grody, the catcher. Foster's 0 for 1. Zachary peers into Grody, nods his head. He rocks and deals to Foster. That's a shot to left center field. Griffey holds up at second. Henderson got there quite quickly, but the Reds have something going here. 1-0, 2 on, no outs, and here's Dan Dreesen. He's 0 for 1. Zachary hoping for the double play ball. He's going to try to come inside. And he strikes out Dreesen. Fastball, not a lot of oomph on it right now, 89 miles per hour, but good movement as Zachary gets Dreesen to swing and miss on the 1-2. So 1 out, 2 on, 1-0 Reds, top of the third. Here's Johnny Bench. Bench also walked his first time up. Geronimo on deck. They're going to go aggressive to Bench. Base hit up the middle. Mazzilli charges it, and Griffey puts on the brakes. Wow, so bases are juiced. Mazzilli put a good charge on that. And now it's 1 out and no place to put Cesar Geronimo. Stephen Conrad says, I'm going over my 4-15-67 APA lineups, prepping them so I can play a few games this week. Excellent. RJL, check out his channel, says, let's go Mets, win 1 for the Mamba. And if you don't know it, unfortunately, Kobe Bryant was on a helicopter that crashed with 8 other people, so all 9 people lost their lives. Here's Geronimo 0 for 1. The pitch from Zachary. Ground ball. Youngblood to Flynn to Cranepool. 4-6-3 double play. Yes! So Zachary gets a little help from his friends. The Reds do score 1. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Cincinnati. Due up for the Metropolitans. Flynn, Zachary, and Randall. Could have been a lot worse. Flynn batting 188. Here's the pitch to Dougie. Ground ball. Rose charges it. Throws to Dreesen. 1 down. Scoring at home 5-3. Nice play by Rose at third. Here's Pat Zachary batting 156 with a ribby. Bench sets the target. Norman deals to his counterpart, Zachary. Fly ball. Geronimo on the run. Left center field. He makes the catch. Zachary put a little charge in that, but that's an out. So 2 outs, no one on. Here's Lenny Randall. Drag bunt base hit. Oh, it goes back to the screen. It's an 0-2 count. Randall likes to use that bunt. Norman nods his head. The windup and the pitch. Randall, base hit up the middle. Past Morgan and Concepcion to center. And here comes Jerry Grody. Grody is 0 for 1. Dreesen holds on to speedy Lenny Randall. Norman peeks to first. Now he deals to Grody. Grody, ground ball. Diving play by Concepcion. He tosses to Morgan. They force out Randall at second. He robs Grody of a hit. We go to the top of the fourth. 1-0 Cincinnati. Due up for the Reds. Concepcion, Norman, and Rose to face the Bearded Wonder. Concepcion's 0 for 1. Infield corners will move in. Concepcion an 8 out of 10 bunter. The pitch from Zachary. Fly ball. Henderson on the run. He makes the catch near the left field corner. 1 away. That brings up Norman. Zachary works quickly to Norman. And Norman rips a shot. And that's going to get past Vail to the wall. A 1-out double. Holy poop. Zachary challenged him with the fastball, and Norman won that. Pete Rose strides to the plate. Switch hitter batting lefty. He's 0 for 2. Zachary wheels and throws, but Norman gets back. Youngblood was cheating in behind him. Zachary again peeks over his shoulder. Now picks up the sign from Grody. Pitch homeward bound to Rose. Fly ball, shallow right. Vail comes racing in, makes the catch. Norman goes back to second, 2 away. That brings up little Joe Morgan. He's walked twice. He awaits the Zachary offering. The pitch. Fly ball, deep center. Mazzilli makes the catch. What a diving catch by Lee Mazzilli. A Superman dive, robbing extra bases and a ribby from little Joe Morgan. Mazzilli pops up, starts jogging towards the dugout, and tosses the ball to a fan in the stands. Unbelievable. Let's watch that over. Morgan puts a charge in it. Mazzilli racing. And there's the dive and catch by Lee Mazzilli. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Due up for the Mets. They trail by 1. Henderson, Vail, and Lee Mazzilli. And Hendu is 0 for 1. Vail swinging the bat on deck. Bench wiggles the fingers. Here's the pitch from Norman. Ground ball back to Norman. He snares it, throws to Dreesen, 1 away. That brings up Vail. He's 1 for 1. He's single. Let's see if Vail can jack one out. He's hoping to tee it high and let it fly. Norman nods his head. He fires towards the plate. Vail hits a shot left center field. And that will be a 51% chance for a triple. Will hold Vail at second. He's 2 for 2. A single and a double. Foster really misjudged that ball. Possibly should have cut it off before it got to the wall, but Vail stands at second. He's a tying run. Here's Mazzilli. He made the outstanding catch. Can he tie it up here for the Mets? Mazzilli, switch hitter, batting righty. He awaits the lefty's offering. The pitch to Mazzilli. Ground ball up the middle. Morgan backhands it, fires to Dreesen. 2 outs, and Vail advances to third. Clinton Parks is at the ballpark. Hope all is well. He says, listening, rolling 1965 Twins versus the A's. Good evening. Don't forget to catch Beatles' earlier broadcast. I was watching some of that. I put it in the Discord and tweeted it out. Good to see Beatles back. And here's Joel Youngblood. He's 0 for 1. Can Youngblood smack this ball through the infield and tie the game at 1? Choking up on that bat. Cranepool on deck. Bench wiggles the fingers. Norman rocks and deals. Youngblood ground ball to Morgan. Morgan throws to Dreesen, and the Mets are retired. Vail stranded at third. We go to the top of the fifth. Still 1-0 Cincinnati. Zachary back up on the bump. He's thrown 87 pitches, good for 125. Griffey is 2 for 2. He'll be followed by Foster and Dreesen. Zachary nods his head. Grody sets the target, the pitch to Griffey. And Griffey's 3 for 3 as he lines a single to center. So Griffey's at first, Cranepool holding him on, and here's George Foster. Foster's 1 for 2. He's popped to short and single. They're hoping for a double play ball. The pitch around. Will Foster expand the zone? And no! He just reaches out and pokes that ball to center. By the time Mazzilli gets to it, Griffey rounds second and heads for third. Nice piece of hitting by Foster. He just reached out and poked it to center. So first and third, 1 out. The Mets hope for 2. Dreesen is 0 for 2. Grody sets the defense. Zachary takes a deep breath, arms down to his chest. The leg kick and the pitch to Dreesen. Ground ball to Cranepool. Oh, Cranepool! It's off his glove! He was thinking 2. They're not going to get 1. The run scores on the E3, and it's now 2-0 Cincinnati. Foster's at second. Dreesen is at first. Will he be credited with an RBI? Because you cannot assume a double play? I don't know. Does Dreesen get an RBI on that? We'll find out later. Here comes Johnny Bench, Mark Forsberg, and Dave Gardner at the ballpark, along with Julian 10. Check out Dave Gardner's wonderful channel. And Dave says, no stealing signs. Good sound advice. Here's the pitch for Bench, 1 for 1. Bench sends that ball deep left field, and Henderson can't make the catch. It's off the wall. 2 runs will score on the Bench double, and Cincinnati is really taking it out on their former teammate, Pat Zachary. It's now 4-0, and here comes Cesar Geronimo, no outs. Concepcion on deck, the pitch to Geronimo. Bench tries to steal third, and he is out. I don't know what Johnny was thinking, but he is gunned out by Grody. Thank you very much, the Mets fans say. 1 away. No balls, 1 strike. That could have been a failed freak hit and run, or Bench might have just missed a sign there. Zachary deals to Geronimo. Ground ball, Randall has it, throws to Cranepool. 2 away. That should have been out number 3. But the error on Cranepool. 2 outs, base is empty. 3 runs in for the Reds here in the top of the 5th, 4-0. Concepcion's 0 for 2. Corners move in. He's an 8 out of 10 bunting. They go aggressive to Concepcion. Fly ball, Mazzilli on the move, left center field, makes the catch. His side is retired, but as I stated and as you witnessed, the Reds plate 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-0 Cincinnati. The Mets have to get their go-go bats going if they want to get win number 65. We already have reached 64 wins. The Mets had 64 wins in total in 1977. We've done it in our replay on August 19th. This is August 20th. We'd like to surpass it. So Cranepool, Flynn, and Zachary. Clinton Park says, if it's a fielder's choice, then yes, the RBI counts. Well, it was an error, and you can't assume a double play, so I was going to be curious to see how they score it. I think it's an RBI, but I'm not sure. Here's the pitch to Cranepool. He's 0 for 1. And Cranepool goes the other way. So Cranepool, trying to make amends for that error, starts things off with a single to left. Here comes Doug Flynn. We're going to go hit and run. There goes Cranepool. Ground ball right side. Dreesen has it, takes it to the bag, and Cranepool goes to second. So here's Pat Zachary. Zachary so far has gone 5 innings. He's thrown 108 pitches, given up 4 runs. Lefties. Let's go to our bench here for pinch hitters. We don't... not having Felix Millan anymore stinks. He's gone for the year. I don't know if it's an injury or a trade, but he's no longer on the active roster. Lefty. You can go lefty-lefty with Johnny Milner. Milner would be our best option. Zachary, but then we've really overworked our bullpen to get to those 64 wins. We got to get a few more innings out of Zachary. All right. So Zachary's going to swing the stick, as they say. He has knocked in 1 run this year. Let's see if he can knock in 2. He's going to take. Here's the pitch. There's a ball. He'll take until a strike. Norman deals 1 again. There's a strike on the outside corner. Zachary says he'd like that call. So it's a 1-1 count. Zachary chokes up on that bat. Here's the offering from Norman, his counterpart. Zachary lines to Griffey. Oh, he got a good piece on it, but he lines out to Griffey. SGJ Jamie is at the ballpark. Says, meet the Mets, greet the Mets. Stephen Conrad says Millan's last game of 1977 was his last major league game. Wow, good info. I did not know that. Sean D, how you doing? Thank you. Clinton Park says, do not credit an RBI when either one of the following occurs. When a fielder muffs a throw to first base, which would have completed a forced double play, and is charged with an error. Okay. Can Lenny Randall put the Mets on top? He's 1 for 2. Cranepool's at second, 2 outs. He'll have a few extra steps as he will be off on contact. The pitch to Randall. Randall, base hit right center field. Cranepool scores. The Mets are on the board. It's now 4-1, and here comes Jerry Grody. Stephen Conrad says, Millan had his shoulders separated by Ed Ott of the Pirates, who I believe was their catcher. Sean D says, rest in peace, Kobe. Indeed, a sad loss in the sports world, and especially for the family and friends of Kobe Bryant. That was shocking when I heard that. So here's Grody. Grody's 0 for 2. They'd like to get it to Henderson, who's on deck. Randall being held on by Dreesen. Norman peeks to first, now gets the sign from bench. The windup and the pitch to Grody. Oh, he throws over. Randall gets back. Dreesen with the swipe tag. Randall was leaning. Again, Norman looks to first. Now picks up the sign at the plate. He deals to Grody. Grody, fly ball. Geronimo makes the catch in center. The side is retired, but the Mets are finally on the board. We go to the top of the 6th. 4-1 Cincinnati. Yeah, it hurts not to have Millan because he was such a good hit and run guy. You get used to playing a certain way with a team, and then, like I played rosters, as played transactions when I play a weak team. But I make my own lineups and play the pitching staff the way I want. And when there's a trade or a guy's gone with an injury and you learn to play a certain way, it's tough. You got to figure out a new way to win. So here's Zachary. Norman has walked and doubled. Zachary 108 pitches. The pitch to Norman. Can we finally get him out? Line shot to Vail. Thank God. So Zachary almost gives up another hit to Norman, who hit it on the screws. 1 out. Pete Rose is 0 for 3. 6-game hitting streak for Charlie Hustle. Zachary deals to the left-hand batting Rose. And he walked him. Again, Zachary kind of gives that stare in. How come I don't get that pitch? 116 pitches. Mets start their bullpen. Rose. They throw over. Oh, they call a balk. Zachary is just really out of sorts now. Grody steps in front of the plate to try to calm him down. Mark, his hit streak ended at 42, I believe. It was either 41 or 42. Yeah, it ended offline. I was playing a game late at night, early morning actually, and the hit streak went bye-bye. I was like, oh, that sucks. I think I can look that up somewhere on the Mets thing. I think it was 41 or 42. So Morgan is at the plate. Rose is at second after the balk. Morgan's 0 for 1. The pitch to little Joe Morgan. Fly ball. Mazzilli ranging towards his right. Makes the catch. Rose tags a throw by Mazzilli. It gets away from Randall. And Rose will score. Oh, another error on the Mets. And it's now 5-1. Zachary, 120 pitches. This will probably be his last batter. Griffey's 3 for 3. Here's the pitch to Griffey Sr. And he strikes him out. The side is retired, but the Mets give that run back. 5-1. They still trail by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. It will be Henderson, Vail, and Mazzilli to face Norman. Norman, 75 pitches so far. He's gone 5 innings, 5 hits. Struck out 2. And given up 1 run. Henderson is 0 for 2. He's going to take. There's a strike on the outside corner. Henderson barks a little bit at the home plate umpire. 0-1. Bench wiggles the fingers, sets the target. The windup and the pitch. And Henderson walks, so good job of battling back. Yeah, Randall was released by the Rangers. He basically beat the bejesus out of his manager. Oh, God, what was the manager's name? And he got released because he felt that they were trying to give his job to Bump Wills, the son of Maury Wills. But no need to be striking your manager or anybody like that. So Henderson's at first. Here comes Mike Vail. He's 2 for 2. If he goes yard, it's a 5-3 ball game. The pitch from Norman to Vail. And he strikes out. He's now 2 for 3. Chase the slider away. And here's Mazzilli. Mazzilli is 0 for 2. Henderson at first. Dreesen holding him on. The pitch to Lee Mazzilli. Fly ball deep center. Geronimo makes the catch. Henderson retreats to first. Randy Luxembourg is at the ballpark. Frank Lucchese, thank you. Apichatter also says Lucchese. Yeah, a really horrible thing that happened there. Randall definitely, I think, had some anger management issues. He also claimed Lucchese said some stuff that no one else heard. To try to, that's kind of, So here's Joel Youngblood playing in place of the injured Felix Millan. Youngblood is 0 for 2, batting 175 again against lefties in the replay. Prior to his 2 at-bats here was batting 263. Henderson will be off on contact. Norman picks up the sign, the windup, and the pitch to Youngblood. Oh, he throws over. Henderson gets back. Now the pitch to Youngblood. Ground ball to Dreesen. Dreesen takes to the bag himself as he waves off Norman. And the side is retired. We go to the top of the 7th. 5-1 Reds. Mets trying to get their 65th win. Larry Harris is at the ballpark. Hope all is well. We already have 64 wins. They had that in total in 1977. We accomplished it in our replay. Again, this is all for ha-has. By August 19th. So trying to go over 65. We're trying to go over 64 here. Zachary will face Foster's 2 for 3. We've overworked our bullpen. Rick Baldwin is a right-handed. He just destroys right-handed pitch batters. And what we got? Righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty. Rick Baldwin's going to come in to face Foster. Baldwin is 2 wins, 4 losses, 1 save, 388 in the replay, but he's been really tough and we just limit him to right-handers. Foster's 2 for 3. Baldwin's done with his warm-up tosses. He deals. Foster, ground ball back to Baldwin, over to Cranepool. Baldwin's magic against righties continues. Had a slow start to the season, but really bearing down. Larry Harris says, getting ready to play a Strat-O-Matic game with the 77 Red Sox at Cleveland. Jenkins versus Eckersley. Sounds like fun. Here's Dreesen. He's 0 for 3. The pitch to Dreesen. And that's... Oh! Vail boots the ball in right. Dreesen goes to second. So that's going to be a single and a 1-base error on Vail. The 3rd error on the Mets. And bench is 2 for 2. Baldwin will work to bench. Then we'll walk Geronimo and pitch to Concepcion if it works the certain way. Johnny Bench awaits the Baldwin offering. Pitch homeward bound. And he walked him. Well, that didn't work out. And here's Cesar Geronimo. And there goes Rick Baldwin. And here comes Paul Siebert. He's a lefty. He will face Geronimo. Siebert is 1-0 with a 3.86. Geronimo's 0 for 3. Dreesen at second. Bench at first. 5-1 Reds. Double play ball gets the Mets out of the inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. Grody sets the target. Here's the pitch homeward bound from Siebert. Base hit right field. Vail has it. Dreesen will hold. Vail has a very good arm. The bases are juiced. And here's Davey Concepcion. 0 for 3. Siebert struggles against righties. The pitching moves have not worked out today. And Siebert goes out. And Bob Apodaca comes in. So it's Bob Apodaca. And he comes into quite a pickle. 1 out, bases juiced, 5-1 Reds. Apodaca rubs up the baseball. Now he's up on the bump. Takes a deep breath. A lot of faith put here in Apodaca. Apodaca. He rocks and deals to Concepcion. Ground ball. Youngblood, for God's sakes, turn 2. To Flynn. On to Cranepool. And that should be 2. Let's wait for the official. Yes! So Bob Apodaca does the Ipa-Nipa. And that goes 4-6-3. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 5-1 Reds. Could have been a lot worse. Mets used 4,000 pitchers in that inning, but did not give up a run. Let's go Mets baseball, folks. As they play Take Me Out to the Ballpark, the Mets will send up Cranepool, Flynn, and a pinch hitter for Bob Apodaca. Here's Eddie Cranepool, 1 for 2. The pitch from Norman. Cranepool strikes out on the 2-2 count. He was froze by that pitch. 1 away. Here's Doug Flynn. Flynn will attempt a drag bunt. Bench has it. Another great play by Johnny Bench. Flynn thought he had a hit. They get him by a step. Bear hands it. Fires a strike to Dreesen. And now with 2 outs, Apodaca is going to hit. The pitch to Bob Apodaca, who does not have a hit on the year. Ground ball. Concepcion to Dreesen. The side is retired. Apodaca did make contact. We go to the top of the 8th. Apodaca back up on the bump will face Norman. Then the top of the order, Rose and Morgan. Norman is 1 for 2. He is doubled and walked. The pitch from Apodaca. Ground ball. Randall has it. Fires to Cranepool. 1 down. Here's Pete Rose. He's 0 for 3. Apodaca wants to make Charlie Hustle 0 for 4. Rose looking to slap that ball through the infield in that peculiar crouch of his. Grody sets the target. Pitch homeward bound. Rose swings, ground ball back to Apodaca, over to Cranepool, 2 away. And here comes Little Joe Morgan. Morgan is 0 for 2, though he has walked twice. Apodaca deals quickly to Morgan. And that's a third walk. And here's Griffey, who is 3 for 4. Apodaca peeks to first. Now he deals with Griffey. Ground ball back to Apodaca, over to Cranepool, rinse and repeat. The side is retired. The Mets have to get their bats going, and it's the top of the order. Bottom of the 8th, 5-1 Reds. Mets with 64 wins, desperately trying to get to 65 here and beat what they actually did in our replay on August 20th. They only had 64 wins for the whole year. It would stink if we didn't get one more. We got lots of games left. So it's Randall, Grody, and Henderson. Randall is 2 for 3. Drag bunt attempt for Randall. And he goes back to the screen. 0-2 count. Norman in the driver's seat. He rocks and deals. Randall, fly ball to Griffey and right, who goes back a bit, makes the catch, 1 away. Jerry Grody's 0 for 3. Looking to jump on that first pitch strike possibly. Henderson on deck. Grody chokes up just a bit on the bat. Now batting .340. Bench sets a target. The pitch to his counterpart, Grody. Fly ball, Geronimo moving to his right and center, makes the catch, 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down via the fly ball. And here comes Steve Henderson. He is 0 for 2. As I call him, the worst 300 hitter I have ever played with in any type of sim game. The pitch to Hendu. And he strikes out right on cue. We go to the top of the 9th. Bob Apodaca is back up on the bump. They'll face Foster, Dreesen, and Bench. Reds with a 5-1 lead. Foster's 2 for 4. Apodaca shakes off Grody. Now he nods his head. Pitch homeward bound to Foster. And Foster rips a shot to center. And Grody just stares at Apodaca for shaking him off. So Cranepool holds on. Foster at first. Here's Dreesen. Dreesen 1 for 4. Apodaca trying to induce the double play ball. The pitch around. See if Dreesen will reach and bang it into the dirt. Nope. Ball 4. So Apodaca, 36 pitches, good for 45. Here's Johnny Bench. He's 2 for 2. Apodaca goes right at Bench with a fastball. And there's a shot laced to left field. 1 run scores. It's now 6-1. Dreesen goes first to third. Cesar Geronimo's up. And let's get Bob Apodaca out of the game. Let's bring in Bob Merrick. Merrick comes in. He's a lefty. Lefty-lefty matchup. Merrick. No wins, 4 losses, 2 saves, 3.91. He deals to Geronimo, who's 1 for 4. And he walks the bases loaded. Good God, the Mets are coming apart at the seams here. And here's Concepcion, he's 0 for 4. Merrick hoping for the double play ball. Fly ball to Vale. Vale setting himself up. He makes the catch. Dreesen. No chance at getting him at home, so Dreesen will score. Vale throws to Youngblood, and advancing from second to third is Bench. It's now 7-1. Merrick deals to Norman, who's 1 for 3. Ground ball, Merrick. Double play, 1-6-3, I believe. No! Norman beats it out. Unbelievable. Another run scores. It's 8-1. Who is this guy, Fred Norman? Who is he? He's crazy. He's done it all, like Bogey and Bacall. Here comes Pete Rose. The pitch to Charlie Hustle, who's 0 for 4. Ground ball to Flynn. Flynn fires to Cranepool. Rose is 0 for 5, and that should end his very moderate, limited hit streak. We go to the bottom of the 9th, 8-1. The fans in disbelief here at Shea. It's been ugly, folks. It's going to be Vale, Mazzilli, and Youngblood. A biblical miracle will need to happen. Norman, 112 pitches, good for 125. Looking for the complete game victory. Up by 7. Vale's 2 for 3. The pitch to Mike Vale. And Vale aces one down the left field line. That is a double. He's now 3 for 4. That went past the dive of Rose. And here's Lee Mazzilli. Mets don't want to go quietly into the night. You could hear them in the dugout. Don't make the last out. Mazzilli's 0 for 3. The pitch to the movie star, handsome Lee Mazzilli. Ground ball. Concepcion charges it. Quick release, and they really get Mazzilli by 2-3 steps. What a play by Concepcion. Vale advances to third with 1 out. Here's Joel Youngblood, who can't hit his way out of a freaking paper bag. Cranepool on deck. The pitch to Youngblood. And he strikes out. So it's up to Eddie Cranepool to get it to Doug Flynn, who also stinks. Cranepool's 1 for 3, singled the opposite way. 8-1 Reds. Norman looking pretty strong here. 125 pitches. Bench sets the target. The pitch to Cranepool. Bench has a word with him. Now the pitch to Cranepool. Cranepool pops it up. Morgan on the outfield grass, waving his arms, makes the catch, and that's the ball game. The Reds thump the Mets. The Mets don't get 65 wins today. The Reds crush them 8-1. Zachary takes the loss. Norman gets the win. That was an ouchie. And let's go to the box score. Oops, that's more of an ouchie. I forgot to unclick the cursor. Screen will go black for a second. And then the box score will come up. So Norman is now 12-6, 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. No homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Zachary falls to 5-6, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned. The errors really cost the Mets tremendously. Walked 5, struck out 4. Baldwin pitched a third of an inning, gave up a hit, walked 1. Siebert didn't retire anybody. He gave up a hit. Apodaca went in 2/3, 2 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Walked 2, struck out none. Merrick pitched the final inning, and he walked 1 and gave up no runs, no hits, no strikeouts. The Reds are now 64-59. The Mets are 64-58. Vail had a good day, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. For the Reds, bench was 3 for 3 with 3 ribbies. Foster was 3 for 5. So was Ken Griffey Sr. We go to the batting. Rose, no hits. His hit streak, I think he had a 6-game hit streak, is gone. So he was 0 for 5 with a run. He walked once. Morgan was 0 for 2. He walked 3 times, scored a run. Griffey, 3 for 5 with a run scored and a ribby. He struck out once. Foster, 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Dreesen, 1 for 4, 2 runs scored, a ribby, a walk, and a K. Bench 3 for 3, as we already noted. 1 run, 3 ribbies, 2 walks, 1 double. Bench now batting .301. Geronimo 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Concepcion 0 for 4 with a ribby and a strikeout. Norman 1 for 4 with a ribby and a walk. The Reds in their 8-1 victory, 36 at-bats, 8 runs, 12 hits, 7 ribbies, 9 walks, 4 Ks, 2 doubles, and a partridge in a pear tree. For the Metropolitans, it was a heartbreaking loss. They tried to get the win 65. Couldn't do it today. Randall was 2 for 4. He's now batting .371. He had the only run knocked in for the Metropolitans. Grody, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Henderson, the worst 300 hitter I have ever managed in any type of sim game, whether card and dice or PC. 0 for 3, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Somehow, he's still hitting over 300. Vail, 3 for 4, a strikeout and 2 doubles. Mazzilli, 0 for 4. Youngblood, 0 for 4. He struck out. Cranepool, 1 for 4 with a run scored and a strikeout. Flynn, Zachary, and Apodaca, the rest of the batters, 0 for the world. Baldwin, Siebert, and Merrick pitched, did not hit. So the Metropolitans in defeat, 33 at-bats, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 ribby, 1 walk, 6 Ks, 2 doubles. We're not going to... Let's go to player of the game. Fred Norman. He went the distance. That makes sense. And recap, you just saw it, so we ain't going to go over it. It was ugly for the Mets. And we'll just show that a bit here, and then scroll down a little bit. As Norman goes to 12-6, Zachary drops to 5-6. The Mets lose. And let's just give you a real quick... Screen will go black for a second. And let's just show you some batting. Give you some numbers here. For the National League, Bruce Beauclair leads the league with a 382 batting average, followed by Randall 371 and Parker 371. Ted Simmons 371. Schmidt leads in homers 36, followed by Foster with 34, Lazinski with 30. Lazinski leads in RBIs 119, followed by Bench 106 and Foster 101. J.R. Richard, ERA leader 165. He's 20 wins, 1 loss. Bert Hooton is next with a 2.51. He's 11-7. Carlton actually has more wins than Richard. He has 21. Richard for Houston has 20, and Candelaria for Pittsburgh 14. Charlie Huff has 24 saves, and he's with the Dodgers, followed by Suter with the Cubs with 21, and Gossage still with Pittsburgh, not with the Yankees yet. He goes there in 78. He has 21. Necro leads the league in strikeouts, 221. Richard with 169. Rogers with 164. That's the National League. I mean, we're hitting the ball pretty well for the Mets. As you can see, we still have a Red Sox game to play. The Mets are currently in third place, 11.5 behind the Phillies. Dodgers are 1.5 in front of Houston, 11 in front of Cincinnati. The Yankees are 7.5 up on Boston. We're a little behind pace with the Red Sox, what they actually did. And the Kansas City Royals are 6.5 up on Texas. So let's show you the American League now. Yep, 14 left on base. Horrific. Oh, you have to look at the right. You have to look at the. You can't look at. If you looked at the box score at left on base, that's all the total of the. There's multiples left on base. You have to look a little farther down with that box score. I'll show you. Hold on a second. Let me go back to play here. Let me go to play. Hold on a second. Go to schedule games. I'll show you what I mean. Go to the box score here. Go back to the box score. Now I got to bring that back up. Screen will go. No, it's not going to go black this time. And there we go. So the actual men left on base, and maybe you were looking at the right thing here, but you have to go to miscellaneous. Left on base, Cincinnati 11, New York 6. I think you were looking at this here, 14. And that's not the actual left on base because, like, Grody left, there's multiples left on base, if you understand what I'm saying. The Cubs, the Bears explained that to me because I used to say, oh, my God, they left it. And I'm thinking, there wasn't that many guys left on base. This is a true left on base number. Cincinnati left 11. The Mets left 6. So that's that. Let's close that out. Screen will go black for a second. And we'll go back to the league leaguers. League leaders. Say that 52 times fast. There we go. And close that out. Now we'll go to the American League. And Rod Carew is batting 402. That's what I wanted to show you. He's still flirting with that 400 at 402. Mickey Rivers for the Yankees, 370. Lyman Bostock, 348. Mitchell Page for Oakland, 332. Rice leads the league, American League in homers with 35, followed by Nettles of New York, 32. Bonds, that's Bobby Bonds, 31 for the Angels. Rice, 100 runs batted in. Yastrzemski, 95 runs batted in. And Chambliss, 90. It's the pitching that has really killed me with the 77. Though we're overperforming with Jenkins, I'll show you his numbers. Carbo, OPS, 995. He's played a lot in my replay. Guidry, 196. He's 12-4. Followed by Nolan Ryan, 201, 16-9. And then Paul Hartzell of the Angels, 2.13. Goltz for Minnesota, 19 wins. Jenkins, 16 wins for the Red Sox. I believe he went 10-10 in actuality. Blyleven, 16 wins for the Rangers. Campbell, 26 saves. Largro, 24 for the White Sox. Lyle, 22 for the Yankees. Ryan leads the league in American League in strikeouts, 304. Eckersley, 195. Leonard, 195. And let's click on Ferguson Jenkins, and let's bring that up. Actually, I'll just read it to you. In the replay, Jenkins is 16-6, and he was 10-10 in reality. Replay, 3.28. Actuality, 3.68. So Jenkins is overperforming, but we matched him up pretty well. Again, I use my own pitching rotations and lineups. I play with actual transactions and rosters for that day. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, Lyman Bostock. Yep, he died young. All right, well, that's it. Thank you very much. Till next time, health and happiness. Hopefully the next time we see a Mets game, we can get our 65th win. God bless. You know what's coming, folks. Peace! Love you all.